This new Scopes and Crosshairs DLC has got me wanting to press new game, and maybe you too. It hasn't been 2 weeks since it released, and I must say, this has been the best content I've seen in years of playing this game. So what was released that I think was so good? Well, the Angler 4x8 night vision scope, the Hermes 3x7 handgun shotgun scope, and the Odin 4x12 rifle scope. We have never had a good night vision scope in the game. What we had before was a scope that couldn't magnify, so basically we're just shooting using the Hyperion or Argus at a glowing outline in the middle of the night. This Angler is amazing, and now it makes hunting small predators and animals that drink at night fun again. I've been playing the crap out of it. The Hermes handgun and shotgun scope not only has a dual purpose, which saves you room when you pack up your loadout, but you don't have to level up your shotgun or handgun score to access the scopes. Which, as a player who predominantly uses rifles because of the ease and use of the scopes, I now have a reason to equip the Sunberg, and I'm enjoying shotguns again, having been blasting pheasants and turkeys on Rancho all week. Now, the Odin is a great option to replace everyone's favorite Hyperion. I find the reticles are much clearer and larger than the Hyperion, and it just feels smoother, and is my go-to scope right now. Now, the reason why you clicked on this video. Let's get into why this DLC has got me wanting to press new game, and it may have you wanting to press it too. Or, if you're a new player, just got out and bought this DLC and makes your hunts so much better, let's just dive in. I have a beginner's guide and how to level up your hunter fast video on this channel. I think the grind from level 1 to level 10 is probably one of the hardest, and let me be honest, one of the most boring in any video game I've played. I love Hunter Call of the Wild. It's the only game I currently play, and I've been devoting a lot of time to this channel. And I've been playing for now 7 years, since it's released on console. I can see why new players may try the game for a few hours and never return. The beginner scope is a 1x4 magnification. You are almost better off early game going open sights and hoping for the best using the beads. On top of that, you don't start out with a scope for shotgun or handguns. For shotgun, you need to get 5406 shotgun score. Just to put that into perspective, you have to harvest almost 200 ducks to unlock that scope. The handgun is a bit better at 2115, and you would need probably 75 harvests using a handgun with no sights just to unlock the handgun scope. I was one of those players that just said screw it. I'll just use the rifles to enjoy my hunt. I've pressed new game probably 5 times in my 7 years, and each time I get those anxieties before I click OK. I know I'm going to have to grind until level 10, and I'm going to have to crawl and crouch my way into close range just to level up my rifle to get the Hyperion, which makes this game at least playable. It was basically the #1 reason I don't start a new game more often. Now, if you purchase the Scopes and Crosshairs DLC, you can equip all these scopes to your starting rifles with no unlocking necessary from level 1. You basically can use every starting weapon in the game with amazing scopes, and you can hunt at night too. So currently I'm down to my last 2 maps that I haven't picked clean, which is Rancho and New England Mountains. I got my Great One Moose checked off, and my bear grind was recently reset with one of the pass updates that reset the bear population. I have nothing really stopping me from pressing new game at this moment. So, for the newbies on here, or someone that's played for a while and always wondered what happens or why I would press new game, here's a quick tutorial. When you press new game, or if you just picked up Hunter Call of the Wild for the first time, when you spawn into a map for the first time, the game produces an animal population file. We call all these animals initial spawns. Every map will include at least 7 max level animals and probably 5 rare animals. I have a video on my findings and data on those numbers. I'll put it in the link below. Let's call all these initial spawn diamonds and rare trophy animals. So basically you will have 10 to 12 in every map. As you hunt your own maps and harvest these animals, your herds change and the animals will get respawns. If you've played as much as me, your maps will feel like there's nothing left that's good to hunt. That's why when you hop on multiplayer sessions and find a nice trophy and think multiplayer is doing better than your own maps, it's just you probably found someone else's initial spawn trophies. I love it when I find a map on multiplayer that has little to no zones discovered, because then I have an opportunity to find someone else's initial spawn, which hopefully is something pretty cool for my launch. So, that's the #1 reason I would want to press new game, is to get 15 brand new maps that have never been hunted. I have the potential to add over 100 plus new and exciting trophies to my lodge, and you could too. The best part of pressing new game is that it doesn't reset your trophy lodge. you get to keep every trophy you've taxied in the game up to this point. I've pressed reset when I had 8 great ones, and guess what? They are still in my lodge. That doesn't mean there's no drawbacks to pressing new game. So here are some of the drawbacks that I would see. You lose all your current gear. You go back to what comes with the game or the DLCs you've purchased, which, if you look at it positively, could give you an opportunity to use your in-game cash differently this time around. Maybe you don't purchase the 470 King from the Verhunga Savannah DLC for 90,000 in-game currency and never use it since you have the Arzenia 300 that you just bought in one of the new weapon packs, as an example. You do lose all your tents, which sucks, as 16 tents cost around $256,000. You do have to grind your way back to level 60 to regain all your perks and your skill points. You will also have to re-find all your outposts and all your maps, but if you have a good friend who can place some tents for you around their map, you can rediscover those really quickly. You will lose your progress on your current Great One grinds, if you are currently doing any. Like I've mentioned before, I just got my moose, and I do have some grinds for whitetail and fallow on the go, but I already have Great Ones for them, and I'm not too upset having to start those over again. So, while I finish out my search for some trophies on Rancho in New England and dream of finding a super rare gator on Mississippi or discovering a massive albino reindeer on Medved by pressing new game, I'm going to take a minute to decide if I press the new game button or I just keep hopping on multiplayer and hoping I find some missing trophies for the launch. Maybe I can do a beginner series to talk about my grind back to level 60. Let me know what your thoughts are on the new Scopes and Crosshair pack. Do you like it? Were you thinking the same thing as me, wanting to press new games since, hey, we got some amazing scopes that make early games so much more fun? If you like this video, please hit that like button, check out the rest of my channel for other cool content, and hey, why not subscribe to this channel? If you're going to subscribe to one channel today, may as well be this one. Happy hunting, folks.